Hi, Gerhard Bloom, once again looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. So yeah, at congressional hearings, the presidents of Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, and MIT, when directly asked if calling for the genocide of Jews constituted a breach in harassment policies or bullying policies at their respective institutions, the presidents said, well, depends on the context, right? Or if these words were actually followed up with actions, like actually killing Jews. Well, they said, no, we're strong advocates of free speech. And no, of course they're not. In fact, Harvard has the lowest score out of any academic university, any university in the United States for freedom of speech. You say that man in the skirt is a dude, you're being marched down to the Gestapos at the DEI commission there at the respective universities. Oh no, you will get a stern talking to, right? But calling for the slaughter, the killing of Jews, no, that doesn't really violate bullying or harassment. But actual genocide, yeah, then you will get a stern warning. Well, University of Pennsylvania, what's her name? Liz McGill, she resigned, undoubtedly in the wake of an extreme amount of pressure on her to do so, or the university would have to dismiss her. So she took the path of least resistance. Now you have Harvard University, Claudine Gay. The board, Harvard's board, unanimously voted to keep her in office. What's the difference that makes a difference here? Well, you see, Claudine Gay, she's a black woman, so she's oppressed. She's a colored person, oppressed, and so she gets to stay in power. And magnifying her sins here. In academia, there are very, very few sins as grave as plagiarism. In fact, at Harvard, and at the University of Alberta, where I attended, you were caught plagiarizing in any significant degree at all, and you may very well be shown the door. And that is true at Harvard, right? Up to and including withdrawal from the university. Well, turns out Claudine Gay, in a number of papers and her dissertation, lifted entire paragraphs almost verbatim, without providing the necessary citations and references and credits, right? She's, in other words, stealing these other people's work and disguising this work as her own. And as I say, there are very few sins as grave as academic plagiarism. And the institution, Harvard, voted to keep her in. Pardon me. Well, the pressure is continuing to mount, as it should. This is absolutely outrageous, and it just shows you the depth to which Harvard has fallen. The academic pedigree of a Harvard University is rapidly diminishing. There are now corporate leaders who have gone on record saying they will not hire people coming from Harvard. And there's a Chief Justice. He will not admit law clerks who graduate from Yale because their reputation precedes them. A friend of mine calls the universities Marxist madrasas. I think that's absolutely a perfect, apt description. It is funny, but it is true. These are centers of ideological indoctrination, and the worst of these are these Ivy League universities. So we have it right there in front of us. Academic cheating, and can't call out calls for genocide, not even bullying. No. At any rate, these academic institutions, in the wake of, millions and millions of dollars of funding that would have gone to them from donors, is being withheld. So yet they're reversing course, excuse me, and they're going to fight anti-Semitism took them a good swift kick in the junk to realize their faults. But people's eyes have been opened up, including a number of Jews, right? You know, these Jews are typically academically rock stars, as are Asian students. And Asian students already have a fight with these elite universities because they were being discriminated against because they're white adjacent, right? They're not white. They're not adjacent to white. They're Asians. But they have very strong commitment to education and higher learning, as do Jews. Read a recent article, a number of immensely qualified Jewish students who have the grades and the chops to get into some of these Ivy League universities are turning their nose up at them. They're saying, no, you don't want us, we don't want you. And good for them. And more people are realizing that these Marxist madrasas, they're just centers of ideological indoctrination, and go elsewhere. Go elsewhere. You're not getting an education there. These people are stupid. These kids, college kids, from the river to the sea, you know, Palestine will be free. They don't know which fucking river it is, and they don't know which sea it is, and many of them don't understand that this, between the River Jordan and the Mediterranean, that's basically Israel. That means genocide of the entire population of Israel. These kids know absolutely nothing. They don't know the horrors of the killing fields in Cambodia. They don't know about the tens of millions of Chinese people killed under Mao. They don't know of the tens of millions killed under Stalin. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. Anyways, thank you so much for your time and attention. Please do drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and check out my book, Deconstructing Social Justice. It's available on Amazon. And yes, it's scrupulously sourced and cited, because it's not just little old me who's come up with these ideas. I've read countless books. By the time I finished writing my book, it looked like a bomb had got off in a library, and some heavyweight scholars there. So of course I'm going to cite their work. So anyways, thank you so much for your time and attention, and take care. Bye-bye.